What's up, everybody? Fatty Matty here, and it is time for the GC7 review, guys. So, if you don't know, this is from Creative Sound Blaster. They make sound cards, external amps, DACs, headsets, sound bars, earbuds, all kinds of crap, okay? This is specifically an amp DAC combo, okay? It has an amplifier built into it as well as an analog to digital converter. That's what a DAC is, okay? This is a multi-platform unit. You can use it on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, mobile, or Switch. Okay, anything with a 3.5 line in, basically, it'll work. Maybe not all the functions you want, but it'll work. It'll at least amplify things. On the front of the unit, you have the volume dial. This controls the main volume. Okay, how loud it, how quiet it is. Chat volume wheel, right? So in the middle, it's balanced. Left, or to the right, actually, is chat. To the left is game. Pretty simple. You have your C buttons down here, okay? 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are customizable for different settings. You can have one for EQ, one for scout mode, one for mic monitoring, and one for to switch the outputs on the unit, so you can switch between headphones, speakers, and then both. Okay. These are also changeable. You can change the lights on these. These are fully RGB. Okay. You have a mic mute button, so you push this, it lights up red, lets you know your microphone on your headset is muted, or whatever microphone you have plugged in. But it has to be this type of mic, 3.5. Okay. So it has that input, and then it has the headset input. Okay. This is also a 4-pole, so I believe you can just plug a 4-pole in. I haven't tried it. I should have, but I didn't. But I'm pretty sure it says 4-pole. Okay. And that what that means is basically the ones that just have one that's designed to go into like a controller on an Xbox or a PlayStation. Those are what they call a 4-pole. They have stereo connections as well as a mic connection. Whereas like these, they're only one or the other. Okay. So like this is what a 4-pole looks like. It's got the 3 lines on it. On the front, you also have your lights for what mode you're in. So PC, console, mobile, and then you have your Dolby decoder light. This light only works if you're using optical, and the only way I could get it to work was on PlayStation. I don't know why. For whatever reason, I can't change the... On my computer, I can't set the optical out to just like a 5.1 setup. I don't know why. I should be able to, I would think. But if I could get it to set to Dolby Digital and then like 5.1 on the computer, then I'm sure that would light up. This unit does not do Dolby Atmos, and it does not do DTS. It's Dolby Digital only. I believe the reason for it not having DTS, at least, is I believe, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think you're limited by optical only being able to output up to a certain degree, and I think that's Dolby Digital. I could be wrong, but I think I remember seeing that on a different thing for my audio, like my big home theater receiver, not being able to decode DTS through that and Atmos through that. It had to be through an HDMI, I think mostly because it didn't have the bandwidth. I could be wrong. Like I said, if I'm man, just let me know in the comments section down below. There's people that know a lot more about this stuff than I do. I'm just a basic nerd. On the back, you have power button on and off. Okay, you have your switch to change it between PC, console, and mobile. Okay, PC, then console's in the middle, mobile is on the far right. Okay, USB-C. I really like that it's USB-C and not micro. That's a way better connection. Optical in, optical out, high and low gain switch for different impedance headphones, and you have mobile in, so 3.5 in and 3.5 out. Okay, pretty simple. Now, oh, I forgot to cover these. So this is an infinite knob, turns infinitely. It lets you change between how much surround sound is processing through it, how much bass is there. This is a Super X-Fi button. This just toggles between Super X-Fi mode and Super X-Fi Scout, or not Scout, Super X-Fi Battle mode, and then off. And it lights up different colors depending on what mode you're on. So I believe off is orange or red. I'm colorblind, so that's why I don't know the color. So it's either red or orange, and then green is on, and then blue is for battle mode. Okay. Then you have treble, up and down, and then you have your mic. You can change how loud or quiet your mic is. Okay. It's a pretty nice unit. It is plastic all the way around. It's not real big. This is it in comparison to my head. Keep in mind, I have a small head. I say that because I can't even wear like the fitted hats in the small. They just fly off my head. They don't stay on. Very small head, especially now that I shave it. But I digress. So that's the unit itself. There are some things that I wish they would have done better on it. There's also some things I really like about the unit. And overall, it's to me, it's better than G6. It is really powerful still. It might not be quite as powerful as the G6 because the G6 claims it can power up to 600 ohm headphones, and this only goes up to 300. Okay. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I don't have anything over 50. So, but I didn't ever have a need for anything over 50. So like cons, it's multi-platform. Okay. It has multiple inputs and outputs, which is one thing I really liked about it. Being able to input optical and output optical, as well as 3.5 in and out. That's what I needed. I really needed something with more than one input and output. The scout mode I really like. The scout mode, it brings out all of the high-end pitches of the game, and it just makes it a lot easier to pinpoint people's position and footprints and stuff. The buttons, like I said, you can change them to do whatever you want. You can even change them to do different actions on your computer for like streaming and stuff. So that's kind of cool. I do like that the volume stays right where I have it set because it's not an infinite dial. Like the G6 is infinite, so every time I turn on my PlayStation, because there's a split seconds it doesn't have power, it resets, and then I have to go back and turn the volume back to where I think it was. Whereas this, if I turn it to 55, it stays at 55 all the time. The other thing that really is cool with it is it has all the different EQs for like movies and games and just a whole bunch of different presets you can select through. So that's really cool. It's very powerful. It will pretty much destroy anything out there that I've used, and it even makes these headphones, which are EPOS GSP 500s, distort. If you try to turn it up to the high gain, I don't recommend that if you have it turned up high. If you just want to kind of experiment, turn it down and then turn on high gain, and then you can kind of see how loud it actually gets. It does have a mic mute button right on the unit itself, which is kind of nice. If you don't have a headset that has a built-in mute, this has a built-in mute, so as long as I flip it up, it's muted. But if yours doesn't, like the Astros, they don't. I think you have to have the little cable. You can just push the button and it'll mute, and it lights up red and let you know, hey dummy, you're muted. Okay, so if you look down, crap, I've been muted this entire time, right? The creative software has a lot of customization. You can go through and change all the different EQs. You can change bass, treble, voice clarification. It has a voice morph setting where you can change the headset sound to different sounds. It's got a phone app, right? So you can take your phone and you can change settings on the fly on your phone, and it'll immediately register on the device, which is cool. That's a plus. I really like that I control the mic volume and the treble and the bass with the dial. That's great. As well as surround sound. If I do want a little bit of surround sound, I can turn that on and off and change it. The other things, let's see. What I don't like about the unit, with those C buttons, okay, you can change them so that you have different preset EQs on them, right? So if I go into custom buttons, I can say C1 is set on sound mode, so that'll just scroll through different modes. for EQs, right? Well, let's say I want to have the C2 button set up for sound mode too, so I can have 6 EQs at any given time. You can't do that. For whatever reason, when you have 2 buttons set at the same thing, the last one that you programmed just overrides the first one, and then both of them use the same EQs. Even though in the app it'll say this one is set to NoFX, music, and gaming, and this one is set to Apex Legends, RPGs, and action adventure games, it's going to default to both of them being the same as the last one that you set. I don't know why. Maybe that's a bug in the software. I'm not entirely sure, but it's stupid, and I wish that I could have more than one sound mode EQ on the buttons, okay? The buttons, you can change the colors, which I have mine to red, pink, blue, and green because I am colorblind. I need to be able to see the buttons in low light situations quick, and I really have trouble with greens, reds, and oranges. They're all the same basically in low light. It is not Bluetooth, okay? The Bluetooth is literally only just to use the apps. That's for the Creative app and the Super XFi app. So you cannot hook a Bluetooth headset to it, okay? I don't know if anybody was thinking you could, but you can't. The other thing with the unit is it is really hard to connect. The first time you connected it to the apps, it did not want to connect. It just kept having problems, kept just searching, and just finally, once it was connected, it went ahead and it works fine. The mic monitoring is really delayed, so if you want mic monitoring, probably not going to be the best unless you just want to turn it on for a split second, see how loud or quiet you are, and make adjustments, and then turn it back off. I don't play with mic monitoring on. To me, it just throws me off entirely hearing myself in my head. I hear myself as I talk anyway. The unit does not decode DTS or Dolby Atmos, okay? It is strictly Dolby Digital. I believe that is a limit with optical cables, okay? Not being able to have a high enough bandwidth for it. The Super XFi mode, that is supposed to be completely customizable. The way you do it is you actually use your phone. You download the Super XFi app. You have to have someone help you take pictures of your ears and your face, and it gives you it takes a profile of your ears and basically customizes EQs for you specifically. Okay. I don't like it. It sounds way too processed and just not realistic at all. And it makes everything sound like garbled underwater in a stadium mess, like at the same time. I don't like it. I don't like the battle mode on it either. It's the same way, only a little bit worse because it eliminates a lot of the lower end. So to me, I won't use Super XFi. If you're looking for just Super XFi and maybe you like Super XFi on previous stuff, then it's probably going to be the same. I don't think they have changed anything with their Super XFi software as far as the way it's worked on previous units. I think it's all the same. Okay. One thing that I really don't like about this is they advertise this as made for streamers and content creators. Okay. And it kind of is because you have the multiple inputs and outputs, and you can change the voice and the game volume, right, on the unit itself if you have it set properly. The problem I have is I run all my audio through this now and into my computer later, okay? When I change the volume on the main control, it changes the volume that is being output to my stream and my YouTube videos as well. So if I'm not looking at that, I could be peaking and just making it sound like garbage on your side, but sounding good on my side. And I don't like that. I wish I could change them independently. Change this volume for the stream to make it lower while I have mine up higher, or vice versa. Okay, and you can't do that. They just all go up together or down together, and that's a real big letdown. That's probably, for me, that's the. I wish I had the option, but I can change it in OBS and stuff and kind of just make it stay. The other thing I don't like is with those C buttons, they're designed to be used as like a multifunction. button. So if you push it one time, it'll do one thing. Push it again, it does something else, and then a third time, it does something entirely different, right? There's no indication on which one you're on. So you can push it and think that you're on the top one, but be on the bottom one, or vice versa, or whatever. I wish they would have had some kind of lights on them so that when you push it, it tells you in position 1, position 2, and position 3, or whatever, right? However many positions they wanted to define it, that's what they should have had for lights on the unit to identify which one you're on. The only way I know how to identify it is either having my app open, and then I push the button and then it'll show me what it's on. Or if I push the surround sound button, like say I'm switching EQs, if I push the surround sound button and then I push C1, it'll change from 0 to 20 to 0 to 30 or whatever. So 30, 20, 0, that's what it's supposed to be. It didn't register the one push, and that's the other thing. Sometimes they don't, you push it and it doesn't do anything sometimes, or it's delayed, and then you push it again so it just switched to the next one, but you didn't know that because you can't tell. So that's one thing I don't like about it. I wish they could change that somehow. I think maybe if they could change it in the software so that you could change the color of each button press, then you would know, okay, blue is the first spot, red is the second spot, green is the third, or whatever, or white, you know. I think that would help differentiate between positions of each switch, but it still might get confusing. So I don't know how they can fix that. Hopefully they can do something with the software. That way you can tell. The other thing is it does have the different EQs on it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch to the microphone on the headset. And hopefully it'll pick up this time. Let me go make sure that my settings in my windows are where they need to be. That way it pulls up properly. Because last time it didn't change anything. So this is default and that's default communication. Okay, so it should work. So I'm going to mute this mic and then switch to this one. You should be hearing me through this headset and the GC7. So it's probably going to sound different, probably a lot more processed. These units typically have like a sound suppression in them, so they're designed to block out noises around you. But like I said, it does have a voice morph. So if you go into Crystal Voice here, and you can change the noise reduction. It has a smart volume, so it'll, if you're talking too quiet, it'll automatically boost the mic. That way it picks you up easier. And then it has an equalizer. You can change some things there. But here's the voice morph. I'm going to go ahead and switch to one of them. And you should see that it sounds different. Or I sound different.
It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I like having this option.
Some of them may sound really weird. This is supposed to be an old man one, but I think it's really cool.
Still, I don't know what emo is, but this is emo. Weird, right? There's elf, dwarf.
Demon. A demon's pretty cool. I like that one. Infiltrator. Brute. Orc. There's a marine.
Chipmunk. Yeah, so pretty cool.
Robot. Yeah. So lots of different stuff. Kid, female, male, neutral, from up north, and then unstable. So pretty cool stuff. Oh, you gotta turn it off. So. So we're back to this mic. Right now we are on no EQ. It's currently glitched out, trying to go back and forth between them for some reason. Okay, so this should change the EQ. We're gonna play some music. So this is Stream Beats from Heller's Heller, DMC free music. So if you haven't checked it out, go to Spotify or just look up Harris Heller. He has different ones. This is really good for testing stuff and just playing in your music videos, or not your music videos, playing in your videos or your streams or whatever. Okay. So right now, it's set on action and adventure. Okay, but you have gaming, and then you have music. So it shouldn't be changing for me. It's only gonna change on the output to you guys, I believe. There's footsteps enhancer, classical. There's a whole bunch of different ones. I'm not gonna really go name them all off. Hip hop, and you can see, like, if I turn this dial, it gets up louder or quieter. Okay. There's Apex Legends, Counter-Strike, Cyberpunk, Death Stranding. There's one. This is a stadium. And that's about it. There's a whole bunch of different ones, but like I've already read those off in that other video. So, and you can just turn that on and off just by the press of a button on the app. So pretty cool stuff. You can see the button there, on and off. I know it's kind of hard to see from the glare, but it is there. And then it tells you all the different little, like, what everything's set at for surround, crystallizer, bass, smart volume, all that stuff. Really cool stuff, honestly. So I do like that, and it does have a different decoder and mixer and EQ. It's got a lot of options on the app. Is probably one of the coolest things because of how much customization there is on it. But you know, that's just a little bit of preview. Hopefully that comes through on the video. I'm positive it does this time. I've recorded this video 3 times now. But I hope you guys like it. I believe that if you purchase this unit and you didn't have a previous the G6 or something, I think you'll be happy with your purchase. I really hope you're happy with your purchase. I'm happy with it, even with its flaws. For me, it's a better option than a lot of the other options out there. There are better setups. You can go with like a Go XLR or just get a full like soundboard from like Yamaha or something, and you'll have way more options with one of those. But you also have to have XLR stuff and room for it. And this is a small footprint, and it doesn't have. It still has some of that options, but not everything. And the price is, you know, for me it was, I think, $30 more than the G6 that I paid for. And I just kind of returned one to get the other, and that's how I afforded it for me. I am on a budget. I have 4 kids, so you can imagine I don't have a lot of money to spend on things, but I'm happy with the purchase. I hope maybe somewhere in the future they can come up with some updates for some of the app stuff. Maybe they can, you know, put in a dial to change the independent the volume for the 2 different outputs independently. Maybe, I don't know if that's something they can do, but I would like to see that. I think that's about it. I think I've covered everything that I can think of. It is plastic, so don't expect like super high-end, you know, sound mixers setup, but I think that's about it. I had a bunch of stuff written down, and I think I've covered everything. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section down below. Just sound off, and I'll try to get back to everybody that I can. Sometimes I don't see them until quite a bit later due to YouTube sucking about getting out notifications and stuff. But I do try to respond to just about everybody I can. I believe it's a good practice just to communicate with people in general. And that's kind of the whole point of having a YouTube channel, just to reach out to people and give my opinions and my thoughts, you know, and see what everybody else thinks. You know, everyone has their own opinion, and that's great. That's what makes everyone unique. But I think I'm gonna end it here. Trying to remember real quick if I have anything else to cover, and I can't. Wait, if you're on PS5, make sure you get the little Astro adapter so that you can convert it from HDMI to an optical signal into the unit. That's the only way that the game and the voice volume will work the way it's supposed to. And it also gives you quite a bit better sound, but you do have to go in to the PlayStation 5 menu and change the sound mode from TV to AV receiver and then 5.1. And then once you do that, it'll actually decode like it's supposed to. So for whatever reason, I can't get it to work on my PC the way it's supposed to. So I have to use the software on my PC, which is fine because Dolby Atmos for PC is pretty dang good. It works good. And I just use this as an amp for it, so it's perfect for me. Like I said, leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you bought one of these, if you have bought one and returned it, or if you didn't like it, or what you liked about it, what you love about it, don't like about it, whatever. And until the next one, I will see you guys later.